and to have that kind of solidarity.
Legal analysts say college admissions offices will likely get around this decision by possibly asking candidates questions like where did they grow up, what zip code are they from, and what educational background their parents have in order to pick diverse candidates.
Finally, in other news, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s last sibling has died. The King Center said Dr. Christine King Ferris died peacefully with her family by her side in Atlanta, Georgia on June 29th. She was 95 years old and the first child to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Sr. and Alberta Christine Williams King.
Follow the BIN on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Black Information Network and on Twitter at BlackInfoNet. I'm Esther Dillard, along with Doug Davis, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Now here's Morgan Wood with the Washington Roundup.
President Biden says he strongly disagrees with the Supreme Court decision rejecting the use of race in college admission.
Many people wrongly believe that affirmative action allows unqualified students to be admitted ahead of qualified students. This is not how college admissions work.
While speaking from the White House, the president said the court walked away from decades of precedent when ruling colleges should not consider race as a factor in their admissions decisions. He said colleges and universities should not abandon their commitment to ensuring they have student bodies of diverse backgrounds and experiences, noting that equal opportunity is not everywhere across this country. He added he'll be directing the Department of Education to look into whether other practices can help build more diversity on college campuses. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of challenges to affirmative action programs at the University of North Carolina and Harvard. That's your Washington Roundup. I'm Morgan Wood in Washington, D.C. on the Black Information Network.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 is powered in partnership with Direct Relief and Chevy. Thank you for partnering with a purpose on the Black Information Network. Looking for ways to get involved? The National Urban League works to provide economic empowerment, educational opportunities, and the guarantee of civil rights for the underserved. Learn more at NUL.org. That's NUL.org.
You've got a voice. We've got a hotline. Call the Black Information Network at 855-500-9BIN. I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who is black, is officially announcing the person who will be taking over for departing NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell. Adams released a statement naming First Deputy Commissioner Eddie Caban as acting police commissioner. The 55-year-old Caban has over 3 decades of service with the NYPD. Colleges across Virginia are reacting to a major Supreme Court ruling. They can no longer consider race in the admissions process. The University of Virginia is still evaluating what changes need to be made, but intends to bring in future classes that are diverse. Virginia Tech says it will continue expanding access to underserved and underrepresented populations. Washington and Lee University doesn't plan to do anything differently, while Roanoke College admits there may be some impact but won't waver from its values and goals. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. I'm Vanessa Tyler.
And I'm Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. What does the Affirmative Action Supreme Court ruling mean for us? The High Court, 6-3, struck down race as a factor in higher education, ruling on a case involving discrimination against Asian students in the admission policies at University of North Carolina and Harvard University.
Decades of precedent gone, but FAMU international law professor Dr. Jeremy Levitt tells me in a BIN exclusive the Supreme Court has been chipping away at the consideration of race for a long time.
So now when you look at the Bakke decision in the 80s and then the Glutter decision in the 90s, decisions that kind of reversed the openness and the open period of trying to repair historic discrimination. Now we have this decision, and obviously you have the University of Texas decision in 2013, the Fisher decision, which basically said that in order for a university to use race, they had to have a compelling governmental interest, and the use of that had to be narrowly tailored, meaning necessary to achieve that interest. So there's been this slow attack on affirmative action, which really didn't exist in any significant way for any significant amount of time, to today's decision, which eliminates it except for military schools. Isn't that interesting that they can take black and brown people into the military using their race, but universities aren't allowed to consider race for purposes of admissions.
The case before the court didn't use white people, many already advantaged by legacy enrollments, but pitted one minority against the other, Asians versus blacks.
But on the other side, what might happen is it could increase the numbers at historically black universities. And that wouldn't be such a bad thing, to be quite honest.
He says black people wake up. The Supreme Court, steeped in history with decisions like Dred Scott, will never fully protect us.
I call this a kind of lawfare on black people. It's another way that the Supreme Court and those who hold those values make warfare legally against black people. It's a kind of lawfare against black people. So I think it's going to have significant impacts in the workforce. It's going to further justify the pushback in places like Florida, where I'm at, where we have an attack on critical race theory, even though people don't know what that is.
Dr. Levitt's suggestion, build stronger black institutions, HBCUs in the North, in addition to the South.
And I think this could be an opportunity to grow privately owned modern black universities, focusing on the areas where there are deficits in our community like STEM. So we got to think out of the box as African Americans and quit working out of convention. You have to think out of the box to conceive of a new paradox. And if we don't think out of the box to conceive a new paradox, we're going to continue to be disappointed by the edicts of this government.
Dr. Levitt, thank you. Hear my full interview with FAMU International Law Professor Jeremy Levitt this Sunday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on The Black Perspective, only on the Black Information Network. I'm Vanessa Tyler with Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
This is your finances on the BIN network. Follow these home improvement tips to increase the value of your home without hurting your wallet. Decluttering and deep cleaning the interior of your house is a great first step to making your home feel more spacious and loved. Washing windows and power washing the exterior of your place will make it look well maintained and increase curb appeal. Painting is an easy way to freshen up the look of your home. Using light and neutral colors will make your home look and feel larger. Try painting your front door in bold or fun color to make it stand out. Replacing hardware in your cabinets can completely change the look of your kitchen or bathroom. Changing out light fixtures can also be an inexpensive way to update. You can find inexpensive lighting for both the exterior and interior of your home. For a final touch, try adding inexpensive neutral blinds to your windows for a simple, clean look and added privacy. This is Dawn Day on the Black Information Network.
Where Black news comes first.
Listen and stay informed. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. The University of California system is responding to the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling that overturned affirmative action at colleges and universities. In a statement, African-American UC President Michael Drake said, "We are disappointed in the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to bar the use of race in college admission." Drake added that student diversity remains a top priority at the University of California. He said attracting, supporting, and retaining a diverse student body leads to better quality instruction and educational outcomes, significant community benefits, and overall fairness. Governor Gavin Newsom is doubling the number of state police officers in San Francisco as the city continues to try to stop fentanyl dealing. The move comes after Newsom deployed the California Highway Patrol to help SFPD in extra enforcement operations last month in the Tenderloin and South of Market neighborhood. Newsom is sending additional California Highway Patrol officers and California National Guard members. A spokesperson for Newsom says 7 to 10 CHP officers have been working on the operation since May, and that will increase from just over a dozen to up to 20 officers a day. And in nearby Santa Clara, they say the war on fentanyl is fought on two fronts. According according to NBC Bay Area, that was one of the key messages Thursday from local Mexican authorities, trying to stress what their country is doing to battle the opioid epidemic. This as a dire warning is issued from local leaders that the fentanyl crisis could skyrocket the arrival of summer.
We worry that during that time we're going to see more use of fentanyl in our community.
Fentanyl deaths jumped 41% last month in Santa Clara, and officials report 7 more overdose deaths have been recorded this month. The Council General of Mexico in San Jose joined California leaders in expressing what worries her.
It's really a concern for us, and we have been starting to spread the voice about this terrible impact of the consumption of these pills.
She says Mexico is collaborating with the United States to detain those traffickers, but it's important also to focus on consumption and distribution here as fatal overdoses spike. And as we wrap up Black Music Month, how about an oldie but a goodie by the late rap icon Tupac Shakur?
When I was young, me and my mama had beef that a kid kicked out on the street. So back at the time, I never thought I'd see a face. Ain't a woman alive that can take my mama's place.
Tupac spent most of the 1990s in Oakland, where the influences of other San Francisco area artists are said to have had a great influence on him. Part of MacArthur Boulevard between Grand Avenue and Van Buren is now named Tupac Shakur Way. Tupac was only 25 years old when he died in 1996. And that's a look at what's happening around the Bay Area. I'm Natasha Williams. I'm your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
The National Urban League works to provide economic empowerment, educational opportunities, and the guarantee of civil rights for the underserved. Learn more at NUL.org. Once again, NUL.org.
The source for Black News.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area, BIN 910.
The Black Information Network is honored to have Better Money Habits by Bank of America as a partner. I'm Bree Wood, and today I'm on the line with Andre Taylor, a Better Money Habits champion from Charlotte, North Carolina. Andre, when it comes to money, what can people do in the short term to keep them on the right track financially?
I would say ask yourself these questions. Like, what are you spending on? Where can you cut back? You know, if you're spending more than you're bringing in, you have to make some adjustments. So there's really two routes. Either one, find another source of income to meet your lifestyle, or two, find some expenses to cut back on. Right? So that's where it becomes important to understand that foundation of what's coming in versus what's going out. If you can do that, then you will be on your way to a better financial position.
That was Andre Taylor from Better Money Habits by Bank of America. To find more money saving tips and resources, check out Better Money Habits.
The perspective you want. The AMA's report criticized BMI cutoffs for being based on an imagined ideal Caucasian.
The Black Information Network is 24/7 News. Vice President Kamala Harris is making history with the second highest number of tie-breaking votes for us. The Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeartRadio app.
Going green is definitely a thing, and recycling is one practical way you can do your part to save Mother Earth. Since being an Earth Avenger will be new, I have these baby steps. Don't feel as though you have to jump in 100%. An easy way to get started is to find out what items you can recycle curbside. It's easy to overlook items that could be recycled or to get confused as to which goes where. You should check with your city's Waste Services Department for local guidelines. Most universal items include recyclable bottles, paper, and cardboard, including books, flyers, magazines, junk mail, and colored paper. Avoid waxy papers. Cardboard can be recycled as long as it's not saturated with food and grease. And don't forget to remove the liners from your cereal boxes before recycling.
about what's happening in your community. Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN.
I'm Bree Woods with the Black Information Network, speaking with A.J. Jackson, Executive Vice President for Social Impact Investing at JBG Smith Properties. Today, we'll be talking about how access to housing is an issue that disproportionately affects Black communities nationally, and how efforts like JBG Smith's Washington Housing Initiative are helping to make a change. This conversation is made possible by a partnership with Bank of America. A.J., tell us what you think is needed to help with this issue.
One of the best ways that we can advance equity is to provide more people with the opportunity to live in neighborhoods that set them up for success at rents that they can afford. And so our goal is really to ensure that affordability is linked with access to opportunity so that we're setting ourselves and our communities up for success across generations. And I hope that folks will keep that in mind as they think about tackling housing affordability.
What inspired JBG Smith to start the Washington Housing Initiative and its impact pool?
Well, we're based here in Washington, D.C. area, and Washington, D.C. had the highest instance of gentrification of any metro area in the country. We saw the ability to utilize our skills and resources as a real estate platform to really have a transformative impact on housing affordability. You know, I think about one of our residents at a property we have in Northern Virginia described living at our community as finding his village to provide him with the emotional support that he needed, the financial support that he needed, the ability for personal growth.
How can the private sector help with affordable housing?
The only way to really have an impact that's equal to the size of the housing affordability issue is through private investment. And Bank of America is not only our lead investor in the impact pool, but was really a thought partner who helped us to refine our strategy so that it could have even more impact.
Thanks for sharing, AJ. If you want to learn more, visit www.jbgsmith.com/impact.
Black news all day, every day.
The power of information.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
Here's what's trending on the Black Information Network. Student loans will need to be repaid, with the Supreme Court striking down President Biden's student debt forgiveness plan. And the Biden administration is plotting a new course to offer student loan borrowers relief. Keep listening for more. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network.
Sports on the Black Information Network.
In the NBA, James Harden is opting into his player option with the Philadelphia 76ers. However, ESPN reports the team is exploring a trade for the 10-time All-Star. The Sixers also started making calls to teams as it became clear he would enter free agency. Harden is now signed for 1 year at $35.6 million. Several teams are expected to have interest in the guard, including the Los Angeles Clippers, the New York Knicks, and of course the Houston Rockets. This comes as the Lakers are letting several players hit free agency. Los Angeles announced it waives center Mo Bamba and guard Shaquille Harrison. ESPN reports the team is also not picking up guard Malik Beasley's $16.5 million contract option. And in the NFL, the New England Patriots are locking up one of their linebackers. ESPN reports veteran Juwan Bentley has agreed to a 2-year contract extension with New England through the 2025 season. Bentley was under contract for 2023 and was set to earn up to $4.25 million between base salary, bonuses, and incentives. The 26-year-old can now earn a maximum value of $18.75 million over the next 3 seasons, with $9 million guaranteed. The Patriots selected Bentley in the 5th round of the 2018 draft out of Purdue. Bentley has also been team captain for the last 3 seasons in Foxborough. Sports at 14 and 44 minutes past each hour. I'm Morgan Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
This is a BIN Finance Report. LinkedIn is stepping up to join in on changing racial inequality within their global network. With their over 675 million members, the company has vowed to build an anti-racist culture from within by hiring and growing employees who can represent the unrepresented. They're also partnering with 50 organizations who offer resources and equity to members wanting a fighting chance at job placement. LinkedIn will scale skill assessments for job seekers to give them the reality of competing on an even playing field. But preparation still remains the key factor. So here are tips on how to navigate services like LinkedIn to land work. Search using applicable popular terms related to your field to narrow results. Use as many search filters as you can manage. Specificity saves a lot of time and will work to help prioritize. Make sure your resume is up to date. Optimize your portfolio by focusing on on grammar and keyword usage. Balance adding job details with brevity for the purpose of overall presentation and invest in their additional features like open to work and interview prep. This is Cyrus McQueen on the Black Information Network.
Our news, wherever you are. Tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network station on iHeartRadio.
Stupid motorcycle.
Entertainment news on the Black Information Network.
Queen Bee has solidified her place at the top of the music industry and the charts. According to Billboard's Top Tours chart, Beyoncé has set some new records after seeing major success with the European leg of her Renaissance World Tour. The singer has become the first female artist in 4 years to go #1 on Billboard's Top Tours chart, earning an impressive $154 million at the end of the first half of her tour. In addition, Bee is reportedly the first black artist, period, to ever go #1 on this chart since its inception in 2019. The report also highlights that her 5-night run in London earned more than $42 million on its own. Also, we have an update to a story we previously reported. Charges will not be filed in the deadly stampede at the Astro World Music Festival. Recently, a Houston grand jury decided against filing a criminal case for the 2021 tragedy at NRG Park. 10 people died in the crowd surge at the concert hosted by rapper Travis Scott, including a 9-year-old child. And finally, congratulations are in order for hip-hop radio DJ and media icon Angie Martinez. She will be getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She's been receiving congrats from friends and fellow radio personalities like Charlamagne God, who says Angie is top tier and, quote, #1 seed certified. Martinez, who was also a rap artist for a moment, posted on her Instagram page and said in part, quote, "I'm going to save my thoughts for the actual ceremony, but for now, just know I'm extremely grateful." With the latest in entertainment at 17 and 47 minutes past each hour. I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
I'm Devin Dunstan on the Black Information Network. In 1892, a 30-year-old woman named Sarah Boone was granted a patent for an invention many of us use every day. Born into slavery in Raven County, North Carolina, Sarah Boone is credited with inventing the ironing board. In her patent application, she wrote, "The purpose is to produce a cheap, simple, convenient, and highly effective device, particularly adapted to be used in the ironing of sleeves and bodies of ladies' garments." For Sarah Boone's great idea, most people would iron their clothes on a simple board. Her invention featured a narrow, curved design that is still used today. The ironing board that the former enslaved African-American designed made it easier to iron clothing, especially women's garments. Over the years, the design would evolve somewhat, but the ironing board that we use today is essentially the same idea that was patented in 1892. Now, more than 125 years later, Sarah Boone is remembered as a black woman who invented the ironing board. And that's a fact. I'm Devin Dunstan on the Black Information Network.
Where black news comes first. Listen and stay informed.
I'm Doug Davis.
And I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
While Democrats and many African Americans are generally slamming the Supreme Court's decision to reject affirmative action in college admissions, Republicans are praising the Supreme Court's ruling, including black South Carolina Senator and presidential hopeful Tim Scott, who said the ruling is long overdue.
This is the day where we understand that being judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin, is what our Constitution wants.
Scott went on to say that schools like Harvard could remedy racial inequities by eliminating legacy admissions policies that predominantly favor white kids. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said students will now be able to compete based on equal standards and individual merit. He said the decision will make the process fairer.
Meanwhile, the newest Supreme Court justice is slamming the court's decision.
African-American Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson said it uses ostrich-like logic to justify the ideal that considering race in admissions is racist. Jackson wrote in a dissenting opinion that the decision makes things worse, not better, for race relations. The highest court invalidated policies at Harvard and UNC, saying they did not comply with the 14th Amendment's promise of equal protection. I'm Bill Black on the Black Information Network.
National civil rights leaders are reacting to the Supreme Court's ruling rejecting race as a determining factor in college admissions.
President Joe Biden is right. He is right to say that this is not a normal court. And he is absolutely right to say that we can and we must continue to ensure that every single one of our children has the opportunity